I'm excited for Caitlin Clark year two. I know those 15,000 fans who bought those tickets in 40 minutes are excited. But it makes you think about the future of women's basketball even after Caitlin and where we are right now. Do you think that there's any other players, specifically college players, who can replicate this kind of fandom in the way that we see for Caitlin Clark, Logan?
I honestly don't think so. And I've been thinking about this a ton recently, and it brought me back to a few years ago, or maybe it was last year, year before, I'm not too sure. I was in the back, like the depths of hell in Adelaide, Australia, doing some like wine tour I did not want to be on. And there were these a group of guys, maybe in their 20s. They were talking about Caitlin Clark. Like she was all the way in the boonies of Australia. So I don't think it can honestly happen. And I think it's
The way she said boonies is hilarious. The boonies. Hold on. The boonies.
a group of guys, maybe in their 20s, they were talking about Caitlin Clark. Like she was all the way in the boonies of
The boonies in Australia. So maybe she's Australian. That's dope. That accent is dope. Sorry, my bad.
Australia. So I don't think it can
Boonies.
honestly happen. And I think it's because her staple is literally a logo three, which we have not really seen that often. I mean, hitting a logo three is huge for any player, but she was doing it back to back to back games. And that was her trademark. What other player can you say has that type of trademark? And that's where kind of the star and all the eyes on her came from. And especially considering it's kind of how she built her demographic, her fan base, everything. I don't see it. Do you?
So
She's Australian for sure. Do you? I love it. The accent's dope.
I do think there's some players that will generate that kind of fandom. I do
Absolutely not. They'll have a fan base. Doing what Caitlin Clark did? Absolutely not. Nobody's doing it.
think to your point, like the
So
logo threes, the no look passes, her style of play, how she shows up in big moments, that is generational and exciting. And I do think, like, full stop, the level of eyeballs, butts and seats, money being spent, and attention around Caitlin Clark, there is a gap for like everybody else
okay.
in women's basketball. So like full on respect for what she is doing.
Okay. Yeah, there's a gap. She made that very clear. Let's
But I
listen
think
to that again.
for like every money being spent, and I do
Let's
think like full stop, the
full stop.
level of eyeballs, butts and seats, money being spent, and attention around Caitlin
Attention, money being spent, eyeballs. There's
Clark,
a gap.
there is a gap for like everybody else in women's basketball. So like full on respect for what she is doing. But I think there's other players. I think a healthy Paige Beckers has aura. I think Juju Watkins
This girl said aura. Oh my gosh. Okay.
can be that. Just continuing to have team and individual success. I think that in the WNBA right now, I did want to point out, I think there's one player who's not at the same level, but also a big time draw. And I would say Angel Reese. I don't even know why. I don't even really truly know what my affiliation is to her, like what my personal draw is. But when I had to make a choice on where I was going to spend my one jersey purchase on, it ended up being Angel Reese. So I do think that like there's other players who are big draws who captivate you and make you want to spend money.
Nice. So let's go back to this part right here.
Right now, I did want to point out, I think there's one player who's not at the same level, but also a big time draw. And I would say Angel Reese.
No, she's talking about Paige Beckers, and Paige Becker has aura. What does aura have to do? Yo, you guys are taking the aura word, especially the males. You guys are taking that aura word way out of context. Hey, yo, bro, let me get some of your aura. Are you out your mind? Let me go tell some dude, hey, let me get some of your aura. You out your damn mind. Hey, brother. Hey, let me touch you real quick so I can get some aura. Bro, stop. Like I said, but I've been saying this. Look, she did make it very clear. There's a big gap between eyeballs, money spent, and there's a big gap between Caitlin Clark and the rest of the girls in women's sports, period. And she made that very clear. Respect to Caitlin Clark. Respect for her for even coming on the pod and even saying that, knowing that this is going to go public. Respect. But she is saying, look, Paige has her own fans, Juju or whoever else she mentioned, Angel Reese. I bought an Angel Reese jersey, which she's probably wearing her jersey with the Rose jersey. And and you're going to spend money on, hey, that's great. Remember what I said in the last video? We need that. We need 40 Caitlin Clarks. So, hey, Paige Beckers, get your fan base up. Juju, Angel Reese, get everybody to buy everything. Buy all your jerseys, buy everything. Because we need the WNBA to stay alive. Because Caitlin Clark can't do it by herself. She can't. But yes, there are girls who will have some impact for sure. Don't deny it. There is. She saved herself by putting a big pause and stating there's a huge gap between Caitlin Clark and the rest of the girls. There's just the logo 3, nobody's doing that. I mean, the way Caitlin Clark was shooting that logo 3, I'm talking about hitting that bitch. I'm talking about split cow. I'm talking about, bro, she's hitting that bitch off the step back, hezzy off the coming to the left, split cow, knockdown, splash, wet like water. I'm talking about Caitlin Clark. Woo-wee. I'm visualizing in my head, bro. Coming off the ball screen, fading to the left, knockdown. Yeah, my bad. I had a little moment right there. But yeah, Caitlin Clark, that's going to be signature, and that's always going to be signature. The logo 3s, where she's laying on the floor after they won the fight, and she got the Iowa hat on, and the confetti's falling. She's laying down. Legendary. 100% legendary. Nah, no other girls has given me the attraction that Caitlin Clark has given me towards the women's game. I'm sorry. And my cousin played with Jordan Canada. She played with a lot of big time players. Travel ball, AAU, all that stuff. I've been around Jordan Canada. I've been around some hoopers. There's nobody who's ever brought the level of excitement to women's basketball to me, bro. And maybe that's just me. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but I feel that way. For sure. The other girl, do I like watching other girls? Yeah. I talk about other girls all the time. But you got to respect what Caitlin Clark has done. You got to respect her fans first and foremost, because without her fans, she wouldn't be who she is. She would be who she is, but her fans, man, they're loyal. And I think that's not just a Caitlin Clark thing. I think that's I think that's an Iowa. Even Indy, though. Indiana's a huge sports place. But more so Iowa, man. Iowa is one of those cities where it's like, see, for me, I always tell my friends this. I always tell my buddies this. For instance, let's just say, if you live in California, everything is divided when it comes to sports. NBA team, you got the Clippers, you got the Lakers. Football, you got it was the Raiders. Technically, Raiders, the Rams, 49ers, and the Chargers. College football, USC, UCLA. Baseball, Dodgers, Angels. Hockey, Ducks, Kings. Everything here is divided. Only thing they don't have to compete with they got the Valkyries now. California, LA Sparks, Golden State Valkyries. You know what I'm saying? One thing about Iowa is like, it's Iowa, bro. Like, in general, you have Iowa State as well, but there's not too many different dividing with teams. Like for us, bro, there's so many different schools, so many different big time schools, so many different. Everything's divided. So what I'm trying to say is their fan base is like a real loyal fan base. Not just Iowa. There's other states, other schools that have that. So it just so happened Caitlin Clark, baller, generational, logo 3, kills her interviews, very likable person, well spoken, dresses professionally, she's literally like, I don't know how she was generated, bro. Like how is I don't. She has flaws, but she just happens to be that girl, bro, who took over women's basketball, man. And you could say it came from the logo 3. I think just her overall game is exciting. So that's what I would say about Caitlin Clark, and her fan base is really, really loyal fan base, bro. And they're gonna travel wherever she goes, um, and now I'm starting to see that with Iowa too. I didn't really watch too much of Iowa before Caitlin Clark. I'm just gonna be completely honest, but I definitely watch Iowa now more so than any other college because I watch Caitlin Clark, Kate Martin, Cisnano, Hannah Stolke, all those girls. And now I'm just excited. Lucy Olsen, Furbach, uh, Stolke's still there. What's her name? Huge player. That's besides the point, man. I keep up with Iowa heavy because Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin Clark doesn't even play there. So I know I'm rambling, I'm scrambling. Catch you guys on the next video. I could get drifted off just in so many deep conversations. I feel like you guys are. I feel like I'm talking to you guys like if you guys were like all sitting present. Like if I'm like we're having a full conversation right here. It's weird, but I love it, man. I feel like I'm having a conversation with a family and an audience, bro. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So hopefully you guys understand sometimes why I get into these deep conversations and just start. My mind is working 24/7, man. My mind is working 24/7. So when I'm speaking, see, I'm doing it again. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. I can just talk on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So look, I appreciate you guys for watching. Shout out to these women once again. Make sure you guys check them out. I appreciate the conversation, the podcast, the take on Caitlin. And yeah, once again, Caitlin Clark's generational. No disrespect to any of the other girls that they mentioned. They got their own fan bases as well. We need it. We need it. We need it. Grow it some more. Please, if you guys were to get it to the Caitlin Clark level, please, 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 please. So all the money you guys want and all the pay and just keep the league alive. And it would be great for basketball and the sport in general. Let's talk sports. Let's build sports for women's basketball. Come on. So get those fans. All right? Catch you guys on the next video. Appreciate you guys. I'm out, man.